the, oh, that sounds creepy.
I know why it's had to announce recording in progress. But my
okay.
my goal is to capture this meeting, so then there's certain thing we want to look at back and we have experience and everything. So
okay. And so the thing today is live post-COVID. And after joining some section with you guys before, I see that like lots of us do not have really many chance to speak. So today I'm just going a different way. I gonna go directly into the questions for everyone. I will pick a random people, and then that people gonna pick the next person, and I will give that person a question, okay? And I just want to give you guys the most, like, maximize your time to speak, like to practice English. So okay, let's get started. So let me open my notes. Okay, so I know that lots of things has been changed since COVID started, and my first question is for Whitney. Are you ready, Whitney?
Not really.
Okay, I think you're ready already. Okay. So I think a lot of things have changed, and when you think about the things you haven't done in the past or the thing you will do in the future, and what will you do differently this time after the COVID end? Tell me about it.
So I think I would explore the nature more and more. So during the past year, because of COVID, so a lot of events got canceled. I wanted to join a lot of social clubs, a lot of social events, but I couldn't. So I just started biking, swimming, and I will take some kayaking and canoeing lessons next week, and hopefully I can get more familiar with those new hobbies and meet new friends.
That sounds amazing to me. Like I never tried like kayaking. What that called? Like that is that? Yeah, you get on the boat in the river and then you do it, right?
Yeah. So Sudbury is a city of lakes. There are 330 lakes around the city. So people are really into sport and whatever water sports. So a lot of games here. And because people are born and raised here, so they know everything. So it was very difficult for me to find a place that offer lessons for newcomers, for beginners. Even for biking, like I signed up as a beginner and they were like, hey, even they are much better than me.
So just curious though, Whitney, like how did you find the place to study, like to learn how to kayaking? Because I'm curious.
So I just checked Facebook and any other websites. So I searched Google first, like kayaking in Sudbury also, and it popped up a few clubs. So yesterday I purposely went swimming. I checked a swimming pool in town, and they said that they have free swimming club only for Saturdays. And then I show up and they said that, hey, because of COVID, so we are closed until further notice. And I was like, hey, you missed on the website that you are open. Yeah, so eventually I went home and there's a lake nearby near my house. So I just went there and swam in a lake instead of in a swimming pool.
Okay.
You're so brave. I would always think that something will pull my legs.
You are.
Like I'm now thinking about. I think you actually like bringing a really positive vibe to the group. Like for me, like as a young people, I never plan like that much like activity for me to do enjoy after COVID life. But yeah, you give me a kind of idea of what we could do next together. Yeah, that would be fun. And what will you your next people, Whitney?
I will invite Lan or Lan Lu.
Lan?
Yeah.
Okay, Lang, are you ready? Hello, Lang. I think you still got your mic off. Okay, she's not here yet. So can you pick another person?
About idol bar.
Idol bar. Hello there, are you there? Oh, she Ngọc is finally on camera. Hello, Ngọc. Oh yeah, thank you for showing up.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay, since your smile is so bright, so what get you so excited about life post-COVID? Please tell us. We want to know.
Actually, like during COVID, I also like go out and take some and do something outside. So for me, like I think the thing I really excited, so I could get like more work opportunities around me, so I can try my best to work at some retail store and to work on somewhere that they allow me to work instead of like during COVID, because there are a lot of store closed and there's a lot of like business closed, so I don't get any train to work. So now when the post COVID, so I will get more train to apply for more job around.
Oh my goodness, don't you tell me that you're excited to work after post-COVID.
Yes, I am.
That's amazing to hear, like good, positive. Okay, so can you pick the next person?
So I would like to pick Flora.
Flora, the final boss, okay? So I actually prepared some question and like for like people
Specifically
like
for me?
Yeah, specific for you. Yeah. So it's gonna be more academic and not funny like other people. So are you ready now?
Yeah.
Okay, you're ready.
Show me.
So okay. So I know there's still a huge amount of people that are not believe in the COVID vaccine yet, and thinking that the government that thinking that they're using them as a lab rat. And if you had the opportunity to get a message to those people, what would your message will be?
Interesting question. First of all, it's because I'm one of those.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Secondly, that I was forcing myself to get the vaccine because I'm the one who followed the principle of living healthy, eating healthy, doing exercise, trying to sleep 7 hours a day. So I'm perfectly healthy. I don't believe that COVID will kill me with the vaccine. And it's funny, I was joking with my husband as well, that we both getting vaccine and we're thinking, okay, maybe after we get the vaccine one day, that will press the button and all the people that get the vaccine will die because we have that something in the vaccine will promote that. But I will get the message out to the people who are afraid of getting the vaccine, that the chance that you get killed by the vaccine is less than the chance you get struck by lightning. So go get the vaccine and you'll be fine.
So will you get the vaccine now, Flora?
I did get the vaccine, so finger crossed.
Okay, see, so I got some specific question for the boss. Okay, okay. So what will you be your next? Yeah,
I will pick Adam.
Adam. Oh.
Same question. Well, think of it like this, okay?
Okay.
If you're against getting the vaccine, okay, why would the government or big tech or whatever you want to call it go after you? If you're compliant and you do what they want, why would they do anything to you? They're going to do stuff to the people who aren't compliant and who don't want to get the vaccine. Right? They want the sheep.
Good point. So, they need more lab rats.
That's right.
Did you get the vaccine yet, Adam?
Yeah, I get my second one, what, next Tuesday? Next Tuesday, so.
Okay, God bless you, man.
The only
Okay,
thing that
so
happens to you is that your arm hurts a whole bunch.
yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
hurt a lot, like a lot more. But that's an extra question. Let's hear your real question, Adam. So imagine that we fire a cure for COVID, and you're gonna have a kid in the next 5 years, like another one, I guess. What would you tell your kid when he asks about this period of time? Please tell us.
Ooh, how far down the rabbit hole do we want to go? What would you say to a kid describing this period? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Because yeah, we know that kids have a lot of questions, right? So we should prepare.
Well, do you start with all the businesses? Okay, so my main thing, the whole thing, I mean, you know, it is what it is. This thing that I found most ridiculous is when you go into a Walmart, just because, you know, we go to Walmart a lot, or Costco, whatever, and they have taped off sections that you can't buy stuff from. You can buy food, you can buy this, you're already in the store, but you can't buy this, you can't buy shirts. You go to Walmart, women can buy makeup and hair dye, but the kids can't buy clothes. So that's just beyond ridiculous. So that's one thing out of all of this that will always stick with me, and probably, you know, one thing that I would pass down. Just, you know, the government has, like I've said to my wife, you know, I've never lost a job so many times in 1 year that wasn't my fault, you know, because being in the restaurant industry, you know, and so it's just a lot of, you know, silliness from the government. So
Okay,
yeah,
so tapping out the certain area in Walmart, is that you're gonna pass by to your kid and said that they cannot buy candy in Walmart? Okay,
absolutely.
absolutely. Okay, thank you, Adam. What be the next person you're gonna pick today?
Let's pick on Ethan.
Ethan. Okay, let me see what questions I picked for Ethan.
All right.
Okay, because I know that you've been working. So when things get back to normal, would you prefer work from home to work in the office setting? And please,
That is a really good question because I keep constantly asking myself, like, am I ready to go back to the office yet? And I don't think that I am ready 100%. Just an interesting thing that I started a job like training through the computer, working from home, and actually doing the job from home. So I have never seen any of my colleagues so far. So that fear of like facing people in person, and what if they don't like me the way that like we talk over the computer, it's kind of freaked me out a little bit. But at the same time, I am very excited to actually seeing people in person, seeing my actual office, because I rove through the building all the time, and I just dream of one day that I'm gonna be inside because it's like a glass building, really beautiful by the river too. So I am, but I think once it comes to the time that I have to go back to work, I would like to have like 50-50, like half of the time that I will be working from home, especially during the winter time with a lot of snow and everything. So if I have that choice of just being at home and work, I think that is amazing for me. And then but sometimes I do want to, get connected with people, having that social interaction with people. I think it's the best to be at work that way. Um, and I think that is the way that a lot of company, my company included, are heading to, like having people to have that flexibility of doing what is fit for their life, so that we can have more of the work-life balance. For me, because I work for the government, they are discuss with the union about what could be the best plan in the future. But I can see that I will be one of the first one going back to the office, just because I am the least senior in the company. I am single. I don't have any children. I have both of my vaccine already, shot already, so I'm ready to go. On top of the
Okay.
list.
That's a good way to say that you're single. Okay, thank you. What would be your next person, Ethan?
Yes, so I would put well, I guess only Flora, Swan. You are the only one that haven't talked unless Lanlu or Ijobar, you are ready. Either of you can chime in.
Uh, Langlu, Idlebar. If you guys don't know, it's there's a mute button at the top, at the bottom corner. That when you click on that, you can speak of. Like it's just a speaking club that everybody is free to give their opinion, and we just here for fun. We just talk about things, silly things or whatever, to discuss things in life, and like to help you improve your English too. So just be yourself. Nobody gonna judge you for if you're gonna have a bad English or you're gonna have a weird accent or whatever. It's your chance just to speak up. Okay. Tell us when you guys are ready. Okay. So come back to Swan. So I think you're the last person in here. Let's see what the question I got for you.
Don't give me tough questions, Sam.
It is gonna be fun. So what can you do today that you were not capable of a year ago? Like, have you learned any particularly skill in the COVID time?
Yeah, thank you, Tabletop List Master. Good morning, fellow member, and welcome guests. My question is what I can do today and I not capable do last year. To be honest, over the last 18 months, that's the time that I came to Canada to pursue business supply chain operation, and I leave my family back home, husband and two kids. There's a lot of things coming to me for me to experience and explore more about myself. And fortunately, that's an amazing process. But the most outstanding thing is for me that I feel in that is my mental health. The thing that I learned about my mental health when I overcome this far away from family. I lost my niece due to she got the brain cancer and she passed away, and I'm not here with my family. I was not here with my family, and the COVID in lockdown. I stayed at home studying online, and it helped me an opportunity to experience something that I didn't know it before. But it also, because joining a Toastmaster and surrounding by the people, it gave me the positive thinking and the techniques and the overcome the flaw for me to practice. And it helped me, give me hope. It's just like, and being grateful every day, give me hope. I practice like exercise. I go out for running. I do yoga. I practice public speaking. I being grateful every day. It just keep me to survive, to keep my mood up. Sometimes it really down. I didn't want to do anything, but it with the hope that it helped me to it lift myself up. It lift my mood up to keep going, and then the good thing is coming. My family came here. I got a job after graduate, and I joined a SpeakUp club where I surrounded by the wonderful Vietnamese fellow. I'm very, fulfillment time is for me, and the good time is coming. And I learned that in life there's something it like up and down, but when we are in the like the low time in our life, to keep hope and trying to be more positive, surrounding by the positive people, and everything will be fine. And that's all. Thank you. Over to you, San. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Thank you. But at first, sorry about your loss, but like we all have things that we regret, but like COVID changed the way that we look at like the way we talk, the way we communicate with each other too. So I'm very happy that you learned that truly appreciate the things that happen to your life, the way that you enjoyed your life and the way that you do it, you embrace it, like yourself to overcome the sadness or the barrier that happens to you. But like talking about that, like, are you guys ready, Langlu and Idabar? I hope that you guys are ready.
I guess some
Okay.
people just need more time.
Yeah, people will need more time to be more confident. Yeah, okay. So since I don't know like how I do this so like quickly, like it's only past like 20 minutes, and
Okay,
oh
so
my.
now I have a question for you, Sam, because we've been grilling us.
Okay.
How is your life different from before and after COVID?
Uh, let's say it's gonna be a really huge life changing for me. So before COVID, I got a boyfriend. We have like dating for till now like 2 years and 6 months. It's been quite a long time, and he in the state. And since the COVID started, my visa expired. My visa to US expired, so I cannot flew there, and he cannot really come back to Canada too. And we just broke up a month ago. Like lots of our friends that know that we've been together and we're so happy together. And the thing is not nobody cheated anyone. No, it's not about cheating. It's just you get I got a job, he graduated, he got a job, and we get busy in life. We don't get excited to share things about that we used to be. Like just so you guys know, we used to be like FaceTime like 8 hours a day. We have like tons of things to tell to each other like that. And like for almost 2 years, and things ended up like that. And then after the breakup, I come into a really hard time that getting back into the social. Before that, I when it was just like a personal point of view. When I'm dating a person, like that person will be my word. I will put everything aside. And I learned a really like a really hard lesson that since the breakup happened, I got no one surrounded by myself. Even my friends, like who I used to be very friendly with, or we talk a lot. But since I got a boyfriend, I put them aside. And right now I try to get back, but they got a new friend. I cannot blame them because I put them aside first. And then I started to think that, oh, it's not the way that a relationship work. Like we treat each other like we see each other like a whole, and we cannot really care about everybody. And what if that person leave, like my case? And I learned like right now I'm trying to get back into like getting to know people, like go and hang out, social or whatever it is. But it's some kind of like weird for me because it was like I to be honest, I don't know how to get back to talk to people like I used to be before. And I started drinking. I know it's not a really good habit, but I got a lot in my bookcase. It's not a bookcase, it's right now it's beer and like liquor. So I drink a lot, and it was some kind of like my friends told me it was a period that after a breakup you will like that, and then you will get better. And I hope that too. So it's kind of like a life changing for me, and I still learning a lot of things every day.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about your breakup, but have your story remind me of a movie. Have anybody watched the movie like How to Be Single in 2016? With the the movie is about, the girl that broke up with her boyfriend, and then she started trying to learn how to be single again. She lost a whole bunch of like connection out of her friends because she's never in touch with them. She was so in love with the guy, so they were so bonded together. She like devoted to him, right? So like all of her friends from high school, from like college and work friends, I never have enough time for them. And now being out of the relationship, she doesn't have anybody with her. And then she start trying to reconnect with them while they already move on to new friendship and connection. And then she start trying to realize like what does she want in life and how to be happily single. um I could highly recommend everybody if you are like single or like just out of the relationship. Well, me not a while ago too, like a year ago too, and I really like the movie and really see myself like being somebody that like trying to be like happily single, because like getting into a relationship with somebody would just bring the extra happiness to your life, but at the end of the day, like you need to be happily single. like happy with yourself first before, because like before that, I was always thinking about, knowing somebody is like, I will never be happy without anybody, like in being in my life, happy with somebody. But now I realize that I have to be like happily single first before I can, be happy with somebody else. So, yeah, a really good story by the way.
Um, and talking, yeah, just talking back about enjoying life. So I started to get the idea that you were trying to tell, like first watch the movie, right? But I think I'm doing that like every day. Like right now, I started to. You see it on the back. I got some picture on the wall, pictures on the wall. I started to decorate my rooms. I bought flowers from Walmart. I put it in a room. Bought new perfumes. I go into. I never had this my hair this long, so I started to grow like a new style of hair. I look it up on online. It said a man's bunch, so I started doing that, and then like I do a lot of new things that I never actually do before, and I'm planning to get my first tattoo too. So it's kind of like keep me going every day. Like every day I trying something new, like a new beer, I guess. So I go to yesterday I went to an LCBO. I got yeah, I grabbed like 20 bottle of different crap beer. And the guy there was like, why you bought so much crap beer? And I was like, oh, I try it every day, like one different new bottle every day. And that guy was just afraid that I'm gonna drink a lot of them together at one time. And he recommended me not to, but I just try one every day. Like every day has to be doing something new for me. So even it's good or bad. And I hope you guys doing that too. Like because like since I started doing that, I feel like something that like when you wake up and you go to work and you find something to do after work and you really enjoy that.
And may I add one point? So I know that you started drinking. So I'm not offended, but I'm just trying to. Hello.
Yep.
Because I know someone who got into alcoholism after breakup and then started drinking a lot. So I'm not offended, but like dealing with mental health illness, and alcoholism is not an easy thing to do. And you are mentioning that you try new beer every day. So I mean, I just put it there for your consideration.
Okay, thank you. I know that you care about I'm gonna get addicted to beer, but yeah, I know my limits and I just try I do as I have attention to do that and I'm not going to get like alcoholic. Like people said like you're gonna be getting an alcoholic, but I know what I'm doing and I'm fully aware of what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get a beer belly too.
Oh, that's funny. I noticed during the conversation that I'm sorry what happened to you, San, but I think a lot of us using a substance to cure the pain that we try to face. And the way alcohol work is that it tricks your mind into not thinking about your pain. So that's why you feel good at that moment and then continue to drink thinking that, oh, this is going to help. But like Whitney said, yes, it's a nice habit. We treat ourselves with something that, oh, I enjoy a drink after work and nothing wrong with that. But it's going to go to the point where, okay, how much is too much? And that's where the point across between alcoholism and the addictions and everything, and it's still debating. But it's like when we have headaches, when I have headaches, I have to take Tylenol because the pain's gonna kill me and I can't stand it. Just like when we enjoy a drink, it's not because we're an alcoholic, it makes us feel good at that moment. But there's a lot of debate that, how many drinks should you have? You have 1, 2 beer, 5 beer, have a beer where you pass out on the floor. And I think drinking is a culture in Canada, and it's not something usual in our culture as well. Because when I have a beer or two, my mom said, is that too much? Maybe you have half a beer. I said, Mom, half a beer is not a beer. It's supposed to be 3 beers.
Yeah, it
anyway,
is.
I get that a lot from my mom when I drink because she's old school. She doesn't like me to drink at all. But like Sen said, if it makes you feel better at that moment and feel comfortable, why not, right? You do something that makes you happy and you do something different, right? So
Thank you.
it's like my headaches.
Okay. Okay, so because we have a lot about time right now, like Idabar, are you ready? Or Lan, you guys ready?
Keep asking her to me.
Hi, can you hear
Oh,
me?
yeah, I
Yes.
can hear you now
Oh,
clearly.
sorry, because before I don't know, I don't know how to like, but I don't think that people hear me. And then
Oh, I see.
yeah, and quite frankly, like I just got like the message. I know the email from Flora, very like they just before like maybe 20 minutes ago, and I was doing the gardening, so that's is why. And then, but I was listening the whole conversation.
We
Your
lost
name,
you.
San?
Uh,
Is that San?
yeah, it's me. I'm Sean.
Okay. So nice to hear from you. I was just actually listening to your conversation, and then when you was sharing your experience about like after the breakup, and then you went for drinkings and stuff like that, right? So you know what is very interesting, and this is my first time, to like joining you guys, and then listening to like what the problem that we have after COVID and everything, and I think this is amazing. So what would you like me to like? I want to give you my opinion, like by hearing your story, but I don't know
Yeah,
because I was.
it's okay. It's okay. Just go ahead. And if you feel comfortable, can you put up your videos online so we can know like how gorgeous you are? Like, yeah, just
I
freely
am
speaking.
actually
She's hiding.
I'm actually sitting in my garden right now. I'm
Oh, that
picking.
would be amazing. That would be
Show us
amazing.
your
We don't.
garden.
Yeah.
We
I
want to
don't
see
know
your
how
garden.
to. I don't know how to to put up my camera.
I see. I see. Anyone using a phone platform know how to show her to put on the cameras on? Because we on the laptop and there's a button like just put on a video and that easy on the laptop. But yeah, that's fine. So just go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, but actually, like today, you don't need to see my face. It's okay, So next time, I'm gonna trying to show my face.
Okay.
Uh, well, because of you was talking about like the fact that you was losing some of friend because of you was so into your relationship, and when you get out of it, and then you feel that like you have nobody to kind of lean on, or you was looking for your friends already have another friends. So I think that like so this is something for us to learn, right? Like when we have a relationship, when we are so into that person, and we kind of forget about like all of our friends, like that is around us. So I think that like from this, I learned from my mistake too. So I think that like to have a relationship and have a friendship is like it's bring like a very healthy balance to our life. And then even anything happen to you, like even you have a breakup or you have whatever, but you always have some really good friend that as like like right next to you can talk to. So those are the people who actually is gonna bring you back to the balance. And then also like sometimes we have to get some time for ourselves, and then like we're trying to figure it out what we really want to do. So after there's a lot of things happen to me, I read a book, like how to talk to myself, and then like and then I go for a walk in the morning. This is a time that you actually, son, you can do it, and you can think about what you really want to do, and then how would you do it better. So it's bring like the balance to your life, and then you realize that, and then you're gonna make like some of really good friends that you think that you trust them so much, they're gonna be there for you like forever. Like even says the friend that you are not like you can be having a friend even in Vietnam or something, but like you can talk to them, like you can share with them, but don't lose that track for like if you have a relationship or whatever. So that is my own experience. I want to share it with you, and it's never too late to know.
I actually really like that, but like, can I ask you a questions though? Because like one of the problem that I have when I was in a relationship is like balancing that like time for my partner and time for my friends. Because
Yes.
like I have a group of Vietnamese friends that like I like to hang out like in the weekend, but at the same time, the weekend is the only like time that I have with my partner as well. And then like I don't know, Flora and Adam, you might have some experience too, but like sometimes I feel it's really hard to bring some non-Vietnamese partner to a Vietnamese group of friends, because we are talking in Vietnamese and we talk about, you know, food and, you know, Vietnamese thing. So it's really hard for me to, if I can get everybody into one weekend meeting, then that's great, right? Because I can save a lot of time. But like if it's so hard for me to have that, and I have to save some time for my partner and some time for my friends, and I ended up like I have to pick one or another because I wouldn't have enough time. So that is, I feel it's really challenging, and hope that everybody who had experience might share.
I think that with your situation, I would talk to like you would talk to your girl.
Oh, we lost
And
her again.
relationship
You're
is
cutting out.
something very like it's you need to have that in order to have a balance and healthy, because if you cannot just like, you can, of course you have to priority your partner or like your girlfriend, right? But at the same time, you know, you can tell them, is that, you know what, I never against with you going with your friend and having a group of friends. And then you can tell them, you can bring them to the Vietnamese group, and then like, you know, you can explain it to them, because if we are a Vietnamese group, so we feel more comfortable talking Vietnamese to each other, but I really want you to be there in the prison. And then like you can talk to him, or you can ask them, because a lot of Vietnamese people now, like in Toronto, they speak English. So you know what, like just bring her on, and then just get in her in there, and then she have to be feeling comfortable with your friend as well. And I think that is, if you find someone that only want you for her only, I don't think that is a healthy relationship. That is my opinion.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
but
you.
okay.
Okay, thank you. It's about when you not speak, but when you speak a lot. I love it. I love the vibe. And and thank you, Ethan. Ethan, just let me tell you something. Have you ever tried to bring your girlfriend into the group of Vietnamese before?
I did bring my bring my partner to a Vietnamese group, and the thing is, because for me, like the reason why I wanted to hang out with Vietnamese people is that is the only time that I can speak like Vietnamese. So I really appreciate that time that I can speak Vietnamese, because, you know, like I work at work, I speak English, at home I speak English too. So like sometimes I really miss that time to speak Vietnamese and being up to date with what's happening in like Vietnamese community and everything. So I feel like, okay, so if I have to bring my partner there and speak in English, first of all, my friends not comfortable, right? Because like we have been hanging out and we talk in Vietnamese, and now you brought somebody in, and then everybody's just like being quiet, and then really limited our conversation in those topics that we only speak in English. So I felt it hard, and then, you know, my partner got bored too, because, you know, he like feeling like, you know, an elephant in the room, and everybody, anytime that like my partner step into the room, everybody just gets silent. So okay, forget it. Like
Okay,
Should we
okay.
change this SpeakUp club to Vietnamese speaking club?
I love the idea.
You're hanging out with us now and you're speaking English, so that just adding up more stress in your relationship, right? But let me so I have those challenges as well when I speak Vietnamese with my mom, and then my husband has to keep up with what we're talking about when he hears name popped up. So you have to get the balance, and you get to get your partner to understand that this is the commitment that you get yourself into. You're married to the person who speaks 2 languages. You have to understand what I eat. You have to smell my fish sauce, because that's not what you're accustomed to. And I have to be okay that you eat ketchup for everything that you have on your plate. And he has to be okay that I like fish sauce and I grow up with fish sauce and it stings when I cook something. So I think that's the balance between, you know, your partners and yourself, and the commitment that they're willing to take to join with these social meeting with you, and said, okay, you can be there. Everybody gonna speak Vietnamese, and I'm gonna translate to you if you understand. And you can find 1 or 2 person have a common interest to talk English with him, so then he will not feel so left out. But it's had to be the balance, because you're trying to make other person feel comfortable, but how about yourself? Do you feel comfortable? Because you don't feel comfortable because you know that that person is not feeling comfortable. So it's the hard balance between how to find that balanced ground when you sit amongst the people who speak different languages and you still be able to communicate. And most of the time when I have my family dinner, we just sit there, smile, and ask if the food is okay, and that's about it. It's more about spending time together with the person that you know that is a part of your life, and your partner, and the people of your partners in your life, your family. As long as you sit together, you eat dinner together, you enjoy the meal, and you smile and you laugh, I think that's more important than talking about small talk, right? Because mostly we talk about whether sport that who give a damn about, the hockey or Maple Leaf or Blue Jay, and then people talk about stupid weather all the time. So what's important? We spend time together and we laugh, and that's more important, right?
But you see, because I've been around it for so long, you know, the different language, you can start to pick out things and what you're actually talking about without me actually knowing what you're talking about. You can figure it out. So, you know, I wouldn't stress about, you know, that kind of stuff. And you also can't compare ketchup to fish sauce. That should, you can't do that, okay? It's just not happening. Or bamboo, okay? I remember one time I came home and she cooked bamboo, and I didn't know what the hell that was. I had never smelled anything like that before in my life. So I cleaned the entire kitchen thinking I can get rid of this, and the smell was still there. I didn't know what it was. So she finally told me, it's like, yeah, so, you know, bamboo. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's the balance that we talked about. You have to find the common ground, and you accept the fact that you live with somebody else that's not coming from, you know, your own background, and you know, the barrier and the languages, and we compromise, right? I can stand ketchup and he can stand fish sauce, so there we go.
Just not yeah, bamboo, or what's the other one? Shrimp paste.
Oh, that one is strong.
Yeah, that's it. No.
How about durian, like Adam?
That's okay. I don't mind that.
Oh yeah.
It's just, yeah, like when, so we have dinner, whatever, and she'll leave the container, like she'll put the fish sauce in a little bowl and leave it there, and then you start smelling it, and it's like, oh god, so I got to put saran wrap on it, put it in the kitchen, make it go far away. So
You will go yes to it. You will get yes to it, and then it's lucky that you can smell durian. If you're not, it's gonna be like your worst nightmare. It's even worse than fish sauce, to be honest. Like, yeah, if you can't smell durian, that's good. And what should we do now, Miss Flora?
Okay, great. I think let's retire early, Sunday early. I want to have a drink.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And then just before everybody taking off, so I just want to say thank you to everybody, and just remind to
Hold on. I think Lan Lu was unmute before, like
Okay.
maybe like she or he is ready.
Hi Lan, are you ready to speak? Okay. And by the way, Idol Bar, what's your name? Have you give a little bit introduction before we gone? Thank you.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Hian. And then, yeah, that's it. What is it?
Okay, thank you, Jihyun.
She's the owner of the Idol Bar. She owns 2 other restaurants, very successful. She's just very
nice. And are you in Toronto, or like where you located?
Yeah, I am in Toronto.
Nice, nice. Very nice to have you here today, Jihan.
Yeah.
And just a reminder to everybody that we have a gala for a presentation gala for Hội Nghiên Việt mentorship program
Tomorrow.
on Saturday,
Oh, next week.
July 17, and Swan will be one of them that will make the presentation. Congratulations, Swan, and she will represent our SpeakUp Club. So if everybody have time, please join the presentation. There will be a voting as well. She's gonna talk about our club and just to bring more member to our club as well. I'm sure that this is gonna be very interesting, very informative, and hopefully everybody can spend a 50 minutes or like an hour or so joining the presentation gala there. There will be a lot of good information, a lot of talented people, that just does a good chance to networking with people as well. So
Yes.
hopefully people will join, and welcome Ngok and Jihan and Lanlu joining our Toastmaster today for the first time. Is that correct?
Yes. That's the
Yeah, and I hope like you guys will try us again. We will have this Spec Up Club bi-weekly. Um, 1 week will be like informal, like a social club like this, that we're just gonna have a, common team topic and we're gonna talk about it. And then another week will be more formal when if you want to make a presentation. Oh, I'm stealing Flora lies. Flora, I'm sorry. Like,
No, go ahead. That's the whole
yeah,
point of it.
Yeah.
sorry
So the
about
last
that.
thing I would want to
yeah.
do is to ask Ethan and Son for next meeting, you both presenting something.
Yes, so I for the next meeting, it's gonna be a formal presentation. So everybody, if you want to make a presentation, sign up with Flora. I volunteer for the next presentation, so I will present something next meeting. But if you guys anybody interested, feel free to do so too. Again, this is not like making everybody having a perfect presentation to other people. It's more of the opportunities for all of us to practice making the presentation, because I know from myself, I'm not perfect. Like I have a lot of fillers and everything when I make presentation too, and we usually got nervous too. So this is like the chance for us to practice. So I'm up for it. I'm gonna do it one time, and I'm gonna do it again and again until I feel really comfortable with making presentation. And I hope that all of us gonna do the same too, because this is the platform for us to do this. Over to San and
Yeah.
Flora.
I actually
Uh,
wanted to invite San and Ethan if they have time after this session, because I wanted to ask you some questions.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Yeah, if you guys want to stay or you have time, because my question is about moving to a new city after you get a first job.
Yeah.
So I wanted to learn more about that, because I know that you guys are in the same situation with mine.
Yes,
So I'm just curious to know.
for sure. If
We can stay on and share the story.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I have the opposite story to that, moving to a city for a job and then getting so sick of the city and then moving out of the city.
So I want to hear about that, Adam.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, before we're doing that, anybody have any questions, anything, any feedbacks about our meeting today, or anything that you want to talk about? Like, Ngok, like this is your first time here. What do you think? Would you come back?
Yes, of course, that we come back, and like next time, I hope that if you guys able to like fix my pronunciation, this would be great. Because I am working on improving my pronunciation, so everyone like they could hear me clearly. So that's in my point. When I hope that you guys can help me with that. Thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the idea is to get you to speak more. So then when you hear yourself speaking and we hear yourself speaking, then you'll be able to pick up the pronunciation and be able to pronounce certain things better. Because trust me, when I first came to Canada and I read my first email to my husband, I was like, what the hell I was writing? I couldn't understand that, but it's come with practice. And I think that's why we wanted to create this platform, so then you feel comfortable speaking. Maybe you don't like yourself hearing yourself speaking the first time, but the second time, the third time, you make notes of it and you change throughout, you know, the time. So that's why great feedback. So if you have anything else to contribute to the conversation, raise your hand, unmute, and then chime in.
Okay, hang up. I have an idea. So the next 2 week we're gonna have presentation for something, and I would like to invite you to join. We got Ethan to speak for a topic already, and for the next 2 weeks, like probably I'm gonna doing some my personal project at this time, and I cannot really present at that time. And I hope that you can do it because you said that you want to improve your pronunciation, and the best way to do it is to speak up, and to give a presentation is the best way, and I hope that you can sign up for that.
So what time will the next presentation?
It's gonna be at the same
July
yeah, it's gonna
25th. Sorry.
It's like next week?
No, like 2 weeks from now, July 25th, same time.
Okay.
If you give me your email in the chat, I'll send you the invites and the reminder. Let's do a presentation. It's a good idea.
Right.
Yes, for sure.
And I know that we over time already, but just I think your comment is really interesting too, because a lot of people here want to improve the pronunciation as well. But just a quick thing though, may I know the reason why you think that like you want to improve your pronunciations? Was it because like you feel like people don't understand you as the way that you speak right now, or want people to get to know you more, or like what was the reason for that? Because for me right now, like with what you said, like I have no problem like listening to you, understand you, and the way that you communicate, everything is just so perfect for me already, to be honest. Of course, like we are not like, you know, native speaker. We will never be able to have like that perfect accent like Adam has, right? So that yeah, so
That doesn't
can
count.
I get to know more?
but you sound fine though. You're good.
Yeah.
You sound good.
Yeah.
So the reason I like there's someone like they already like they don't really understand me. So I like when I talk with them, because I work at a grocery. So when I talk with them, I have to repeat. So to make sure they hear me clearly. So that's why I want to work on my pronunciation.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm saying to improve with my speaking.
I have one small tips for you if you want to listen, because like it's not all about when you're talking about language, it's not all about the pronunciation and the thing. It's all about the attitude and the thing that you want to transparent something to them, and you want to express a feeling. It's not always about the pronunciation. Sometimes it's maybe your expression, the way that you express yourself is not right, and the people feeling like that you are too stressed, you too push yourself, and that you feel stressed when you're talking with them and make them nervous. That make the person that talk to you nervous, and they don't understand. But if you approach in a different way, like you feel comfortable, you feel like you're smiling and you're trying to get away till they get the meaning that you want, people will get comfortable and they will understand, and nobody gonna judge you for that. Ask them, because like you speak two languages. Some people was born here in Canada, they only speak English, right? We speak two languages and you speak three. So what's the point, right? Just be yourself, be more comfortable, and be proud that you speak three languages. Remember that. And it's not doesn't have to be always to be a perfect pronunciation. If you want to be an English teacher, yes, that's a must. But if you use English as a communicate tools or whatever, so fine, everybody can understand that, and that's it. You don't need to get a perfect accent.
Right. And one more tip, sorry. Like one more tip too is, you know, if somebody don't understand what you say, try to say it in a different way, like put more context into it so that they will get the idea of it. Because like sometimes it's just that, you know, everybody have their own communication method, so just the way that you speak, sometimes we just translate from Vietnamese to English, so it doesn't make sense to them. So try to say different way, or like there are certain word that I can say, like subis. I can even speak right now, but like specifically, like I have a hard time saying that word. So I change it to particularly, because it's so much easier for me to say particularly than specifically. So that's some of the way just to trick yourself into having a better pronunciation too, and get people to understand you more too. Hope that helped.
Yeah, thank you, Nathan. Thanks so much.
I actually have a different idea because I wanted to improve my pronunciation too. So I would suggest Adam pointing out a few words in each section. For example, like 3 or 5 words that we may pronounce incorrectly. And then you just share with the whole group, and then we are aware of that. So you just listen to our presentation, and you point out if we have any words that we didn't pronounce correctly.
Sure.
And like the whole group can learn from that.
Okay.
Yeah.
More work for Adam.
So many years that Adam tried to understand what I was trying to say. It took me so many years to explain one idea sometimes.
Say spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Or hamburger.
She used to say, when she first said spaghetti, she said spaghetti.
Spaghetti. I feel like I'm not sure what everybody have a difficult with like S and P together. Like so hard for me to say it like specific. Like I have spaghetti. Like I have that difficulties like for so long.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing, but specifically, specifically.
So
I don't know.
let's go on to the topic that Whitney wanted to have your experience about. Ethan, I know you moved from Winnipeg to Windsor lately.
Yes.
And San, I don't know your story. I know you're in London, and I know that there's a lot of Vietnamese now moving there for housing, because I think there's this university there. So it's good to have Ethan's and San different perspective on how they move to a different province and territories, places beside big city like Toronto or Vancouver. I don't know. I don't have anybody in BC here, but start with Ethan.
Yeah, but like before I start, may I know, Whitney, can you tell us more about like what exactly are you trying to find out about, or like get that share experience about, like so that
I mean, like okay, so most of us move because of the job, and it's a good reason. But I'm just curious to know about how you view your new life in a new city, and how you get used to everything. And I know that it was hard for all of us because we moved during the pandemic. So I mean, I just wanted to know more about your experience and how you getting over everything. You are on mute.
Hello?
Yes.
You know.
Okay, good. Sorry about that. Yeah, so that and I'm gonna share mine, and I hope that I can hear from you too, because that's exactly what I am trying to figure out for myself, like establish myself in a new place and getting to know the new people. But like the reason why I moved from Winnipeg to Windsor was, first of all, is the weather. Secondly, because I lived in Winnipeg for like six years, and I gotta get bored. Like there are no new challenge for me anymore. career-wise and life-wise as well, plus a breakup relationship. So good time for a change. So I decided to move to Ontario because I got a job in the province, and then I got to pick the city that I want to work for. And then I was looking at like Toronto and GTA and Hamilton, and it's way so expensive. So I decided to choose Windsor because it's more like affordable. Um, so when I first came here, because good thing is because of the pandemic, there aren't a lot of things going on. I'm working from home, so there aren't a lot of change in terms of like working environment there. So it was okay for me work wise, but life wise is kind of difficult because I cannot go out to see people. Community wise, other than you guys here, I knew no Vietnamese people in my town right now, to be honest. I went to the temple, they closed the service in the Sunday as well. So technically there's nothing that like no way for me to get to know Vietnamese people in my own community right now. And I found it really difficult. I don't know, like when it's open up, I might have a chance to mingle with more people here somehow. But for me right now, that part is still one of the things that I'm trying to establish and trying to open that, like, networking for me. Um, yeah, that's what I'm struggling with for now, I think.
Okay. And hi, chị. Whitney, for me, I have actually, so probably you misunderstanding my story, but I have not been moving anywhere. So I've been to Toronto for visiting, or when I first came to Canada. So I've been in Toronto for like 2 weeks. And then when I moved to London for studying, and after my graduation, I found a job near the house and it matched my specific, my qualifications and the thing I started in college. So I studied in London. So if you want to know about the life in London, I can give my perspective about that if you want to.
Are those answering your question? Do you with me?
Yeah.
Are you considering to move to Toronto or Ontario? Well, you in Ontario.
Yeah, so I consider moving to either Toronto or Ottawa. Because
Ottawa,
yeah, I started in Ottawa.
not Toronto.
Yeah.
Why not?
Toronto is a shithole, okay?
Oh gosh.
Oh
Oh
God, Adam,
gosh.
Adam, oh God.
Adam hates Toronto.
You know why I say that? It's because of the people. The people make the city, and it's just Toronto is just, I don't know. Toronto used to be fun a long time ago, and then it just stopped being fun. Toronto is a city who tries to be so much that it doesn't actually know what it is. And it's just, again, it's the people. The people in Toronto are just miserable people. That's what I find. And somebody else might have a totally different opinion about that.
I do.
But yeah, and that's great. That's fine. But Toronto to me is just a cesspool of crap.
Okay.
Ottawa is a very nice, pretty city.
Quiet, yeah. So I think to add to that, it's had to going back to the considerations of your lifestyle and your current situation. For me, Toronto is the place where you can go really far with your career, your business, and anything you want to do. And it's the city for the people who want to make money and who want to do a lot of things. The reason why Adam doesn't like Toronto because he's grow older and he has family, and it's not from a personal perspective, it's not the place you want to grow your kids or you want to, have a family and be peaceful, because it's just going all the time. You have a lot of job opportunity in Toronto, and I think in Ottawa is the same thing. There's a lot of job opportunity. Standard of living, the cost of living is really high from my perspective, because a 1-bedroom condo places are up from $1,000 to $1,200. You want a share room, then easily $600 to $800. So it depends on your lifestyle, how much you want to go out. Do you want to enjoy nature more? Because Toronto is very condensed with people, just like Saigon and Hanoi, compared to other small provinces. You have more people. You have to deal with the commute on the TTC, the public transportation. Public transportation is very easy access, but then you have to deal with people, like Adam said, and you have the people who don't really understand the city and then turn the city into something else that people not taking granted for. And driving is the same. It's crazy. When you drive in Toronto, you sit in traffic for hours from point A to point B, where it's only take you 10 minutes from your house to Walmart, basically. So job-wise, there's a lot of opportunities. Living standard, really high. Is it for family? Yeah, maybe. If you want to have family and raise your kids there, I don't think it's a best choice. But then again, it's have more opportunities for kids to grow as well. You have your kid interact with different other culture, exposed to other culture, and you have chance to meet wider Vietnamese community. And also there's a lot of activity in big cities. For us, we moved out of Toronto 5 years ago. I'm still trying to adapt with the suburb life. I still miss Toronto, but it's, you know, the sort of the best decision we ever made, because that's the lifestyle that we want. So if you consider to move your job first, you know, I work a company in Toronto and I live about an hour and a half commuting. So contribute to that in your daily life as well. If you want to have a Toronto lifestyle, but then still have to pay in a lot of expenses with a big city, then work in Toronto, live a little bit further, or stay in Toronto and pay Toronto expenses.
So just more perspective. We lived right in the downtown core of Toronto. So that's where a little bit of my frustration comes from. King Street is one of the worst streets in that goddamn city, and that's where we lived. So you're dealing with a whole bunch of people. We were dealing with a whole bunch of people who are just so annoying, you know, just young people, no offense, but, you know, just the wrong kind of young people. And so if you live kind of in Toronto, but not so centralized, if you live kind of like on the outside, it's okay, you know, because then you're dealing with people who own houses and things like that, and not people who live in condos. So that part is okay. But just because we were living so centralized right downtown, no.
Yeah, so I actually lived in Ottawa for 1 year, and then I moved to Waterloo for 1 year, and then I moved to Toronto for 1 year, and then I moved to Sudbury for 1 year.
So tell us about all of the experience there, and
tell us about Ottawa. Tell us about Ottawa, where like Adam lives. Yeah.
Yes. So to be honest, I understand the Flora's and Adam's points of view, and I feel the same. And from my lifestyle, I would prefer Ottawa because it's just, I mean, more seafood and I mean, a lot of real estate, and people there, they work in government. So I mean, they are more academic people and they behave a little bit better. And I lived downtown Toronto before, and I totally understand what Adam said. And so, I mean, in terms of job-wise, I have to agree that Toronto offers more opportunities, more job vacancies every day, but it is more competitive either. And for Ottawa, I don't see a lot of job opportunities, and their own government jobs and
bilingual.
Yeah, bilingual. And so when I graduated, I applied almost everywhere. Whoever invited me for an interview, I show up. So I got only 2 in Ottawa, and I got a lot in Toronto, although I applied for similar jobs. But in terms of lifestyle, I prefer Ottawa. But to get a job, so because we live there, we have to we must have a job to survive, etc. And for Toronto, like I may have more opportunities, and as I mentioned, like it's a lot of people. Some people are good, and some people just try to turn the city into
A shit.
a lot. Yeah. So for me right now, I mean, like I apply, but wherever I get an offer, I will move there. So I don't bother at all.
Oh, wow.
So for
Keep
for me,
trying.
like if you're thinking about London, so as young people, I will recommend that for you because I think that you not saying about the age, but you're a little bit old in the yeah, but your lifestyle will fit in here perfectly if you got a job in London. So let me tell you, it have a Western University, which is one of the top university in Canada, not Canada but worldwide. And so if your kid, you have kids growing up, you can send your kid to Western University too. And the public transport, it's easy to use, super easy to use. I don't know because I never use subway or whatever in Toronto, but I got friends that go there and use it, and they said it's so complicated or whatever. And here it's just a simple bus, and it accessible to most part of the city, and it's easy to use. And you have a lot of like Asian community in here, so you got lots of Asian market, Chinese market, Thai market, whatever it is. Like you can find everything you want to cook in Vietnamese dish here in Canada and in London. And it's kind of like an old city. Like the people driving is nice, so as long as they're like I said, since I put my side on my car, I get no honking, I get no aggressive like driver gonna do. So they see that I'm as a new driver, and they just let it go, and they don't even mad. But if they're not knowing that I'm doing that and I'm sweet to the head over the time, they're gonna piss me off. They go in middle finger all the time. That's what I get all the time. But after I got my sticker on, no honking, no anything. I just peacefully driving. And job is pretty a little bit hard to get in here. But if you got a major, you got experience, and you know what you're doing, you got a certain feel of you what you're doing. So and if you can find a job here, it's going to be a good life for you and your kid to be grow, because the city was so clean. Let's be honest, I've been to Toronto and London, it was a completely different. It's so clean in here,
Yeah.
because like I yeah. And like lifestyle, people live a little bit slow. We got not many places for you to shop actually, but you can actually order online. Everything is accessible online right now. You can order food, you can order clothes from like brand that you like online, and you don't have to go to shop. But we only have two mall in London, one like at the two side of the city. So I'm not good at west or south, but it at the two other side of the city. So one at up and one at the bottom, and some coastal or whatever. But the lifestyle, I think it's gonna be fit with you. If
Yeah.
you want stable, healthy life, not really busy life. So yeah, and it's not bilingual. So job opportunity is gonna be, I think, is easier for you to breathe than in Ottawa, because like most of us here is speaking English, I guess.
Oh, sound like a good option. I never been to London, but like I didn't even know that we have a Asian community there, right? So in
Yeah, like
Sudbury,
Did you?
there are not a lot of Asian people here.
because we have like pagoda and like the church. I got friends that they go to the church every Sunday, and there will be church for Vietnamese people too, and then you can go there and speak Vietnamese. Like people go there and they speak Vietnamese with each other, and they make appointment, and then they go there. And like pagoda, we got like two or three. I don't remember. I just went to two, I guess, in London. So it's quite a good city for you to start to think about moving into. And there are lots of people from Toronto. I know the housing in here is getting crazy too, because I know of the program, the PR graduation or whatever it is, and people get accessible to Canada, and then they started to buy in houses. So if you're thinking about relocating or whatever it is, you can take a look at London. It's a good try. It's a good try for people at your age. I'm not trying to like say, but I think it
I
will
think
be.
he's the mayor of London.
Yeah, agree. Invited people.
Whitney, I
Yeah.
think sometimes we just have to wait for the right time when the job that's suitable for you, where you have your heart set at the area. Because I know you know that which city and area that will be suit better for your lifestyle than we do. We just gonna give you the experience that we have with what we are living. Yeah, it's going to be tough to actually land it where we want to be. It takes time. I learned from myself because I wanted to work for public sector and it took me over a year to get a job and I was so impatient. But it, you know, to the point where you will get there. But you know, at the end of the day, you're the only person who know which area will be best suitable for yourself and your lifestyle and what you want to accomplish. And in terms of the Vietnamese community, we cannot reach each other personally. We can still reach each other through online, like through this community, and we can share experience around things. I know there's a lot of Vietnamese and other associate community in big cities, not so much for small city. I'm suffering myself too, because sometimes I want a bowl of pho and I have to go so far because the pho is not the same because it's cooked by the Chinese people and it's not the same. Yes, shake your heart all you want, but that's what I wanted. And the fish sauce doesn't taste the same neither in No Frill or any other supermarket. So yeah, it's up yours.
Have you guys heard of a supermarket called Blue Sky?
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
No?
I had that.
Yeah, there's one in Pickering, about 20 minutes from where we are.
But I know what you mean. It took me over 2 years to get comfortable and be okay that there's not many Vietnamese people around here. And if I need to eat something similar, I have to go really far. And it took me over 2 years to get used to the lifestyle. But again, I think you have your heart set in a place. So just keep trying until you find the right job and you'll be okay.
Yeah, so that's the key point either, because my job in Sudbury is so good, like in my major and everything is perfect in terms of the job. So I don't even want to move for a random opportunity. And it's hard to land a really good job in big cities.
Yep. Yeah. And it's so much stressed. So much stressed.
But like Auntie Whitney, may I know why you keep moving in the last like few years? Like you move from one city to another. Was it just because of the job opportunity, or you still feeling like not happy internally with where you are, and you're trying to find that happiness somewhere else? Or because that's my case, to be honest. Like, you know, I'm keep finding some place that I feel really comfortable with and get what I want. But like at the end of the day, I feel like still, you know, yeah, moving to a different city, there will be things that will be better. There will be pros, there will be cons too. But like at the end of the day, still me trying to find a happiness inside myself. Because like it's still Ontario. First of all, it's still Canada. Secondly, it's still Ontario. There will be difference, but not a lot. Like I even me moving from Winnipeg to Windsor, yes, there are things that better, there are things that worse, but in general, the quality of life is pretty much similar, unless it's gonna be like Toronto or Vancouver, right? Because they are like huge big city. So, but other than that, if you move to like medium city or like smaller size city, I don't think that there will be a lot of difference. So just that's my thought. Like for me right now, as long as there is a place that accessible to everything, and I got a good job, then that's fine for me, to be honest. Like, yeah, just my 2 cents.
For me, it's all about the people that I live with more than the city. But because I'm single now, and London is the best for me because I'm single. But who knows if I got a partner, I got a new boyfriend, I gotta move to a different city, or I can move to a shithole Toronto like Adam, right? Who
Come on,
knows, right?
Toronto
Yeah, a
has
lot
Church
of people
Street.
in Toronto, you find somebody there for sure.
Well, you'll find somebody in Toronto, absolutely.
Yes, especially the area where we used to live. But no, yes, I agree. I have a job in Toronto, but I do miss Toronto. But do I miss the lifestyle in Toronto? Absolutely not. It's too crazy. It's too expensive. And you just get the feeling of getting familiar things. Then what's the trade-off? Yeah, your job and your peace of mind.
Yeah,
You
so
see, like when we lived in Toronto, we never took advantage of living in Toronto, I suppose. You know,
Too busy
we weren't
working.
right. We worked there. That's it. You know, we would go out to the movies seldom because it just got too expensive. You know, we never went out to any other places really other than Walmart or Costco. So it's like, why are we living here? The price just kept going up and up and up. And it's like, there's no real, you know, you start to think about your quality of life, you know, with kids and living in a condo. If we were still in that condo right now with the pandemic, we would have killed each other, you know? So it's like, you know, sell the condo, move out to the suburbs, and everybody's just so much more happier, you know? And it's just quality of life really is everything.
I think I am pretty much the same as San. Like it's more about who I am with, and yeah. So for myself, like so I moved because of my study and because of the job opportunities. So I studied a program in Ottawa, and then I got an offer in Waterloo, so I moved there to complete.
Waterloo's nice too.
Yeah, to complete my MBA degree, and after that, like between Toronto and Waterloo, so Toronto offers much more job opportunities. So I moved to Toronto, and I got internship, and I got volunteer opportunity there, and then eventually I got a job offer in Sudbury. So it's more about like my study and my work. But when you don't have a job, so the first priority is to get a job. And then when you already have a job, you start looking at your quality of life, etc.
Your housing comes second, and
yeah. And I have to consider different options, and I mean how I feel when I leave. So Sudbury is a good city too, but there are not a lot of Vietnamese people here, and I mean most of them are white people. I could connect to my coworkers, but it stayed there as a coworker relationship rather than friendship. Also, yeah, just like Ethan, I don't really know a lot of Vietnamese people here. Yeah.
Oh, so that's why you want to try a lot of things because you don't have like people to social with, right? So you want to go hiking, you go.
I know a few people here, like Chinese people and Vietnamese people. However, they are at different stage of life. So recently, Cambridge College tries to get a lot of international students. So there are more Vietnamese students coming into the city, but they are own students and they focus on their study. And I am at another stage of life, so I enjoy my life different from the way they do. And some people move here because of the rural program, you know, like because for that specific program, they don't care about not A, not B, or not C, or not D. So if you move here and you as long as you can secure a job and you work for 1 year, you can apply for the PR. So some people actually move here because of that. And I mean, they are fooled as well because it sounds easy, but it's not actually easy. Because for example, in Toronto, there are a lot of restaurants and at least you can find a survival job. But here it's not easy to get a survival job because
Survival
even
job,
you
I like
want,
that.
because like you cannot find a Vietnamese restaurant here. So there are a few Asian restaurants, but not a Vietnamese restaurant. So I know a few people, they move here and then they survive for a few months and then they have to move back to Toronto. So it's just, I mean, I haven't met anyone at the same stage of life. So that is the point. And yeah, so that's it.
Oh, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, there's so much to share.
Yeah.
But I hope you have some of our feedbacks that you can sort of figure that out. Because at the end of the day, I think we're the only person who actually have the answer to the problem that we have, right? And because, you know, good job is hard to find, but a job that help us survive it's hard too, right? I also go through the same battle every day because I work for the government agency, and it just like when you want to move it faster than it's supposed to, it just move at a total speed. So I want to excel and be, you know, do more in my career, but because the job is so good, I don't want to risk that chance because I have responsibility. But at the same time, what exactly important is my family and what I want to do beside my job. It matters. So yes, you do your job, you get your paycheck, and then you do something else to fulfill your life purpose, if that I must say. And that's why, you know, I think it's great that we can actually talk, even though we are a million miles away, and be able to share some of these. And I think that is the one thing that technology is good for. We can share all of this experience with you guys.
So Adam, could you please share about your story when you moved to the wrong city or the wrong job, or like how was it?
So I grew up in Brampton, Ontario, which is about, I don't know, half hour away from Toronto. And so I started working, well, later on, to point that, okay, so I eventually got a job at CIBC, and that was downtown Toronto. So I was commuting back and forth. I would get up at like 4 a.m. I would take the bus, Brampton Transit, then I would take the GO bus, and then I would take the subway just to get to work every morning. And so then I considered buying a car to drive back and forth. But then I'm like, why do I want to continue living in Brampton? Brampton was just not what it used to be anymore. So then I moved, I found myself a place about 10 minutes from where I worked. So I walked to work. I went from spending an hour and a half on transit to walking to work.
Minutes.
And, you know, that worked for a bit, worked for a while actually. And, you know, and again, I'm a homebody. I like to be home. I don't really like going out. I have no need for friends, you know, it's just, that's who I am. I'm perfectly comfortable being on my own. And then I met Miss Flora, and, you know, then life changed. Family happened, and, you know, still working, and, you know, my job was just a job, you know, not something that I cared about. It was just something to pay the bills. You know, people have jobs and people have careers. I had a job, you know, it didn't really matter. All that mattered is that when we had kids, I had the flexibility to come and go when I wanted, and, you know, to do my job blindfolded. You know, I didn't have to think about anything. And then we moved to, so we were already still, you know, really downtown, and then we moved to a different part, King Street, which was even more centralized downtown. And I just started really not wanting to be there anymore. It was just all of a sudden, it was like the next day I was like, man, I really hate this place. I do not want to be here anymore. And so we decided to start looking. You know, we sold our condo, and we looked out in, you know, where could we go? So, you know, we started looking at houses in Toronto, and Toronto was already overpriced, you know, in terms of houses. So when you look at what you're going to spend on a house in Toronto, versus what you would spend outside of the city at the time, not so much anymore because everything's just so crazy. It made more sense for what you get outside of the city to move there and just commute, because if you are commuting into the city, it's still going to take you about 45 minutes from where we were going all the way to Finch subway station. So it's still a long commute when you're already living in the city, versus if you're going to go on a GO train, it's pretty much about the same time. So it just made sense, you know, and it was just more of a feeling that it's like, you know, I really don't want to be here anymore. And then you start, you know, looking at all the flaws and all the things that make you don't want to be there anymore. So, and then again, the quality of life is, you know, I've already said the quality of life is everything. You know, being like, it's so quiet and peaceful out here where we are. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So, you know, it was just time for a change. You'll know when it's time for a change.
Thank you for your sharing on good points. I will consider. I will
my ramblings.
Yeah, it's good to know that it takes time for you and Flora to figure out what you want and actually make it happen. So it's not like you go to sleep and you wake up and everything is there for you, right? So you have to work hard for that either.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it was just time for a change. You know, getting tired of, you know, living in a condo, living downtown, the streetcars, the subways, the people, the traffic, everything. It was just time for a change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. So I have put my LinkedIn profile at the comment section. So if you guys feel free to connect with me, like I want to expand my network too, because I get my first job here, like just about like I said before, I got my first job because of a random connect on LinkedIn, and that connection had connect with my manager, so that I will be able to send my connection to my current manager, and he was like, oh, you're so active, you connect with me to LinkedIn, you talk with me, and I tossed my resume directly into his LinkedIn, and he passed over 100 candidates into look at my resume, and he put me into the consideration for an interview, even though that job is it's my first job in this city, but it required 2 years of experience, and I don't have shit of experience on that field that I study, and I still got a job anyway. And you know, like in COVID time, when you get a job, it was kind of pretty tough for me, so I feel lucky. And right now, whenever I got a chance to connect with everybody, so I put my LinkedIn on that. So if you Miss Whitney, if you feel free, you can connect with me, and Adam too. I would love to connect with you too, man. Thank you.
Sure.
I just send you an invite, and to the Flora as well.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Have a great Sunday. I hope the session was useful for you guys. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.